The father you're about to meet is not a proud dad. That's impossible when your 13-year-old daughter is one of 4 teens charged over a machete attack on a security guard. He knows people will judge him and ask where were the parents, but he says these kids are running like street rats.
What I saw on the news was my daughter being put into a forensic suit at age 13 and placed in a police car.
Pulling up to their cribs, I'm lighting up their whole yard.
The next night I see on the news my daughter was the one being filmed driving.
So your 13-year-old was driving an allegedly stolen car?
Yes.
His 13-year-old daughter was one of 4 teenagers arrested after a police chase which followed the stabbing of a security guard at a Gold Coast shopping centre. We can't identify the dad for legal reasons.
I don't think she really understands the severity of it, given the fact that she's been running with these kids for 4 years and had no direction in life.
And of course, you know, when anything like this happens with juvenile criminals, people always say, where are the parents?
The parents are bad. The parents are the first to blame, I understand. But in this case, the parents are actually the Department of Child Safety and the Queensland Government, who refused to allow me to be a parent of my own child.
The dad says he separated from his daughter's mum 10 years ago, and for much of the last decade his daughter and her brother have been in the care of the state. The daughter's spent the last 4 years living in residential care, or resi care as it's called.
They'd be out all night with other resi children. Multiple times a week they're being returned either to the resi or to their mother's house by police.
Isn't that the point of them being in some kind of residential care?
To improve the situation. They're doing all sorts of things. It's terrible. I can't sleep at night. I can't eat at night. I struggle at work. I have for the last 4 years in this situation.
Numerous juveniles allegedly involved in serious incidents have lived in residential care houses, including a 13-year-old charged over a triple fatal crash at Maryborough in May, a teenager charged over Emma Lovell's death on Boxing Day, and now the alleged machete attack on security guard Johnny Fenuaroa outside a supermarket a week ago.
The Department of Child Safety are required to visit my children, they say, or check in upon them once a month. That's it. Other than that, they're running as street rats with this big group of resi children in South East Queensland. This is where it's all really coming from.
How does that happen?
You tell me. I'm asking Miss Palaszczuk, how does that happen? It's got to stop happening. She should be sacked upon return from her European holiday with a boyfriend, if you ask me.
We are facing a significant child protection crisis in Queensland.
Tom Alsop is Executive Director of Peak Care, one of the organisations providing resi care for children.
At the moment, what we see is too many young people in residential care overwhelming the system.
Queensland has almost 1,700 children living in residential care, more than any other state. More than half of those children have a disability and 1 in 3 are under 12. In the last 5 years, the number of kids living in residential care has doubled, with each of those children costing the state $420,000 annually.
The Queensland Government is running a youth crime factory that I believe needs to be shut down. I'm lucky I'm not sitting here talking about my daughter's death. When does it stop?
The dad's daughter has been released on bail. She hasn't been charged with attempted murder, but a 17-year-old who is facing that charge was released on bail and is back on the streets.
As a parent, if I was treating my children in this manner, the department would remove the children from me. Yet, who watches the Department of Child Safety?
The dad says his daughter hasn't been to school for the 4 years she's lived in resi care. And he gave us this video recorded by the daughter claiming she's begging to be fed in her resi care home.
Are you going to feed her?
No, I'm not feeding you.
It's hell. My children are currently going through hell at the moment, yet they don't see it as that. They're children.
You can't obtain custody of them?
No, the docs refuse to recognise me as a father, let alone a parent. Yet I have no criminal history. I've never harmed the children. It's simply they do not recognise fathers.
Do you think it's too late to save your kids?
It is too late to save my kids, unfortunately, as sad as that is. It brings a tear to my eye. I've been through anger, I've been through frustration, but the whole time I've been a broken man.
I mean, what do we think is going to happen when so many of these kids are in residential care, they're not going to school and they're not properly supervised? A review of the program is underway now, but something drastic needs to change.